Welcome to the Sewing Whisperer. This tutorial explains how to thread and operate a sewing machine. This can be a bit daunting if you're new to sewing, but I hope to keep this information as simple as possible. Learning to sew can be a bit daunting at first. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Over the last 30 years plus, I've taught hundreds of students to sew, and I look forward to passing on my skills to you so that you can feel confident using a sewing machine. Sewing machines are relatively generic. Once you can operate a basic one, you can usually work your way around most machines. There may be dials and buttons in different places, but it shouldn't be too difficult to locate them. I do recommend checking your machine manual to check for all the relevant information. Firstly, ensure the machine is plugged in, the foot treadle is attached, and the on-off switch is clicked to the on position. Let's start with the bobbin. The bobbins are generic for most domestic sewing machines and can be purchased at your local sewing machine store, although check for your machine manual. I recommend having lots of bobbins so you don't have to remove thread from a bobbin to wind a different coloured thread. You can never have too many bobbins. If you do need to remove the thread, place the bobbin in a drawer and pull the thread off. That's by far the quickest way. The bobbin winder is generally located on the top of the machine. Place the thread on the thread stand. Some machines will have an upright thread stand and others will lay on their side with a spool cap to keep the thread in place. Follow the threading as shown in your manual. Here's how that works for my machine. Pass the thread from the front to the back in a clockwise direction around the tension, which creates a twist. Wind the thread around the bobbin in a clockwise direction a few times until the thread is gripped firmly. Click the bobbin winder on. Some machines will automatically start winding if the machine's been turned on. Others you'll need to push the foot treadle. Once the bobbin is full, it will automatically click off. At last, we're going to thread the top of the machine. Once again, follow the threading as shown in your manual, and here's how that works for my machine. Take the thread and ensure the rough part of the reel that is used to tie the thread off is placed to the bottom of the thread stand so the thread doesn't snag. Note that some machines place the thread sideways. Slide the thread into the top hook. Hold the thread firmly. This is the tension. To make sure the thread sits into the tension, hold the thread firmly and push and pull it to ensure it sits into the discs. Take the thread under the big silver hook below the tension. Next is the take-up lever. With the take-up lever, you need to wind the hand wheel towards you until the take-up lever is sitting at the top. It's possible that the needle could be down and the take-up lever is not at the top. If so, wind the hand wheel towards you until the take-up lever is at the top. A lot of the newer machines will automatically set the take-up lever at the top when you stop sewing. Pass the thread from the right to the left around the top of the lever, then the thread down and into the little hook at the needle bar, and thread the needle from front to back. Place the thread under the foot and to the back. Now let's look at the bobbin. This machine has a front load bobbin, but just note that some machines will have a drop-in bobbin. Let's place the bobbin in the bobbin case. Hold the bobbin so the thread is coming over the top and out to the right. Click it into the bobbin case and ensure it is turning clockwise. Thread the thread through the groove and around the hook. To insert the bobbin, open the latch. Let the thread sit over your thumb so it doesn't get caught in the latch. Open the bobbin cover. Pop the bobbin case onto the silver bar. Let go of the latch and push till the case clicks into position. Next, bring the bobbin thread to the top by taking the needle down and back up. My machine allows me to just tap the treadle, or you can wind the hand wheel towards you until the needle goes down into the machine and back up to its highest point. Pull the bobbin thread to the top and place both threads under the foot. Then close the latch. You'll need some pieces of easy to handle fabric to practice with. I recommend purchasing some 100% cotton or calico, or alternatively, you could cut up an old cotton pillowcase, sheet or doona cover. Cut the pieces 8 centimeters or 3 inches by 18 centimeters or 7 inches. See the free downloadable pattern in the details below. You'll need about 12 or more of these. When sewing, use double thickness because the machine will behave better with that weight of fabric. Now let's practice sewing. Firstly, straight lines because they're by far the easiest. Place 2 pieces of fabric together under the machine and put the presser foot down to hold the fabric. If you have a speed option, it may pay to choose the slower option at this stage. Push down on the foot treadle and sew a couple of stitches. To back tack, hold the spring-loaded stitch lever up or push the reverse button and sew a couple of stitches back. Try keeping the edge of the fabric level with the edge of the presser foot. This will help you sew straight. Back tack at the end to secure the seams. Pull out the fabric and cut the threads. Use the thread cutter if you have one. Now practice more rows of stitching with back tacks at the start and finish. Align the previous stitching line against the edge of the foot. This helps you sew straight. Continue to sew lots of straight rows until you feel comfortable. Curved lines are a bit trickier. Using a pen, draw a curved line on one of the pieces of fabric. Place 2 pieces together with the curved line on top. Place the 2 pieces of fabric under the presser foot. It's a good work practice to put the needle down before you start. This stops the fabric getting caught as you start. Sew a couple of stitches and back tack to secure the seam. Slowly sew along the curve. Your fingers will need to manipulate the fabric so you can steer around the curve. Back tack at the end. Sew another couple of lines parallel to the curve and repeat on another set of fabric if you feel you need more practice. Right angles test your starting and stopping skills. Draw a right angle on a piece of fabric. Place 2 pieces of fabric under the machine with the right angle on top. Sew a couple of stitches and back tack. Sew to the right angle, stopping at the corner with the needle down. You may need to wind the hand wheel towards you until the needle's down. If you stop with the needle up, the fabric will move. Lift the presser foot and turn the fabric. Lower the presser foot and sew to the next corner and stop with the needle down. Lift the presser foot and turn the fabric again. Sew to the end. Repeat as many times as you can until you feel comfortable with sewing right angles. The stopping and starting is a really great skill to master. Next, let's set the machine to a zigzag. Firstly, set the width by turning the dial to the widest width and set the stitch length to the longest stitch, or if on a digital machine, increase the width and length. Sew a sample. Next, set the width and length to a smaller amount and sew a sample to compare the difference. I highly recommend lots of practice at this stage. Thread your machine a few times until it becomes second nature. Practice the sewing exercises until you feel comfortable with the speed and different buttons and dials on your machine. Let me know in the comments below how you've gone with the sewing exercises. Be sure to click on my next video that covers the various presser feet, needles and threads needed for sewing fashion. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to having you visit in my next video.